Om Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Vunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahi तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहि ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः निर्मानमोहाजितसङ्गदोषाः अध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामाः द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ताः सुखदुःखसङ्गैः गच्छन्त्यमूढाः पदमव्ययं तत् Anyway, no comment. So, as we have been discussing, starting with the description of samsara bhaksha, and later on how to uproot that samsara bhaksha. So, in order to uproot that samsara bhaksha, here in this context we discussed fourfold discipline. So, those fourfold discipline, where also the last discipline was being taught as sadgunas, the virtues, the values. Because only with the help of values, the person will be able to do Vedanta Vichara, will be able to do Atma Vichara. Or else it is difficult. That's why even though people have Vairagyam, time to time fluctuates. Even if you have Vairagyam, then Saranagati is must, the surrendering. And of course, here in the last verse, Nirmana Moha Jitasanga Doshaha Adhyatma Nitya Vinivritta Kamaha. So the series of values that were taught to make sure that the person is having all these qualities with him. Because it's exactly like laboratory or anything you look at in lab. So a chemical reaction to take place, you need correct temperature. So if the atmosphere, if the temperature is not being maintained, definitely the right reaction will not happen. So how it happens with reference to a lab? Now this lab also needs preparation, as I said, cultivation. That unless the land is being cultivated, a farmer will never put seed. So while discussing this, now, okay, fine. Here in the last verse, very nicely, we saw this point, which was the most important point. Amudaha gacchant. So amudaha, so we use the word jnaninaha ityartha. So that means the one who are not mudha, not deluded, means those who are wise. So they go. So what is that gachanti? They go, like, in the movies you can see, especially. So, the light, the person passes away, the light starts traveling and merges. So is it like that? Please not, it is not like that. It's a wrong way of, because they have to visualize, they have to think of common people. Because here, why it's not like that? Because let us look at the same verse so that next verse will be easier to understand. They go, or you can say, they reach or achieve. So what do they achieve or they attain? Abhyam padam, the goal, that which is abhyam, imperishable. If they travel, let us say, go to Vaikuntha, Kailasa, in common language called heaven or Brahmaloka, etc. Now, where there is Sanyoga, there has to be yoga or not. If you join with somebody, again, you have to leave that person or not, that situation or not. If you don't leave, don't worry, that person will leave you. Because this is the rule. So where there is Sanyoga, there has to be yoga. This is the rule. Now, if you go to, let us say, Kailasa, Vaikuntha, heaven, or anywhere, hey, remember, you have reached there in time, you have to again come back in time. There is no choice. Maybe length of time differs. Then here it says imperishable. How is it possible? So here, when we say travel, it is as though travel. Why we use the word as though travel? Because the distance that is being created between me and God is my ignorance. It's exactly the wave thinks I am different from ocean. And the ocean is far away. I am just on the beach, you understand? I'm just small waves. I'm surrounded by small waves. Now I have to reach ocean. Now, when this wave starts thinking that I would like to or I want to reach now ocean, what the wave has to do? Now, if the wave is very stubborn, now the other would say, don't worry, once you die, slowly you will merge through the water to the ocean. You understand? And that person becomes happy. So that is called visualization. But in reality, the ignorance of the wave creates a distance between wave and the ocean. So once the ignorance is being removed, now is there any difference or distance between wave and ocean? So how that works? Same thing also. Me as an individual thinks that I am limited, I am small, I am a jiva. Now, because of that reason, there is a distance. That's why we use the word gachanti. There is a travel. So, achievement. But in reality, there is no travel, there is no going, there is no achievement. But as though, because removing the ignorance. It is all about removing ignorance. That's why we say very carefully that wisdom is not about achieving. In fact, wisdom is all about letting it go. The more I am capable of let it go, more I am wise. This is the truth, this is the reality. However, When happens, this wise person now goes to that imperishable goal. Now, what is that goal? Now the verse starts. Verse number 6. Natat bhashayate surya na sasanko na pavakah yadgatva na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. So this verse is called Brahma Lakshana verse or sloka. So where the description of Brahman is given, that Dhamma, that imperishable goal is being discussed. Now when you look at this, actually is a borrowed verse Lord Krishna has borrowed from Upanishads. Especially if you go to any temple during Arati time. So the priest, what will say? Natatra suryo hadi najandra tarakam nevavidito bhandi kutoe magni tame vandamanu hadi sarvam. So that you don't understand what the person is talking, okay? And if you don't understand, you can listen to our Rajan, okay? He himself doesn't understand what he talks. What about God or you people, okay? So, natatra surya bhati nachandra tarakam neva vidyuto bhanti kutoyam agni tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. So, this is the mantra we use for arati. Not karpura gauram karunavataram samsara saram bhujagendraharam. This is North Indian, okay? Arati mantra, because there is a karpura is there, okay? So the word karpura means camphor, okay? But there karpura means the color of karpura is white, so that is being described. Because the word karpura comes, so anytime Arati, they have to chant that mantra. I don't know how or why. So I also nowadays enjoy. Earlier I was, objecting. Nowadays I said, look, let us enjoy that. Good. However, so this verse now is borrowed. So what is the concept? Let us look at. When a priest shows the lamp, whether it's karpura, camphor, generally we use for camphor this mantra. So says what? Look, oh God, this is the essence. Oh God, you cannot be objectifiable by any instrument of knowledge. Here is light. Be very careful. This is what based on this, so that we'll take this verse quickly. While showing the lamp, says, oh Lord, you are someone cannot be objectifiable by any instrument of knowledge. Here is a light. How is it possible? Because the light stands for here as instrument of knowledge. How? Let us look at. Now, you all are able to see me, and I am able to see you. Why? Don't say because of internet and other things, okay? Because of light, let us say. Now, those who are here also. Now, suppose there is no electricity, the place becomes so dark. So quietly, one after another goes away without making noise. But I'll be thinking what? All of them are there. But in reality, everybody has gone. You understand? And that is what we do very nicely, okay, in our childhood. So we'll pray how to escape. Let electricity goes. If it doesn't go, let us stop the electricity so that one after another can go away, escape. So coming back here, that because of light, you are objectified. I am able to see because of light. Now, if you look at all our sense organs, also makes us to objectify many things through the nose, especially woman nose. Woman nose is more powerful, okay? Because men nose is only visible or available only surroundings, okay? Sometimes they don't understand also smell, okay? Don't worry. But woman knows, they can smell anything and everything from a long distance. Don't ask me further, okay? So that is called objectifiable. Eyes, ear. So now everything is called here instrument of knowledge. That's why inference also is called another object of knowledge. In short, called pramana. Clear? Pramana means of knowledge. So because I'm going to jump to third pramana, so that's why sixth pramana is my approach without spending much time. So that means if every instrument called pratyaksha pramana, also anumana adi, inference also, through inference also we objectify many things, especially in Chennai example is more appropriate than any other example, because what is inference? Because if this inference goes wrong all the time, okay? So what happened? So it's so hot, so you will always look for rain. So sometimes when you open the door and look at, the road is wet. How did it happen? It rained. It was raining, but I did not notice. Then suddenly you go to the terrace, you discover nothing has happened because the lorry has gone, okay, making the whole road drenched. So that means what? You can see this is called, half-baked information. So you infer. So when we look at something anumana, and also we look at, how this upamana examples also. Finally, Shabda becomes Pramana. This is the point. We don't have to break our head. Shabda is a Pramana. We all also talk common language. Sometimes when you ask the question to somebody, is sophisticated, will you please throw some light on this topic? This is the English language we express. Will you please throw some light on this topic? What? Shall I look for a torch and put on that topic or what? So, will you please throw some light on this topic? Means what? Will you please explain? So that means sabdas, the words are being used as here pramana, the object of instrument. Now, here in this verse, in short says that Paramatma or Brahman cannot be objectifiable by any instrument of knowledge. Cannot be seen, cannot be heard, cannot be tasted, cannot be smelled, cannot be inferred. There is no simile, nothing. Not even if it cannot be described through the words. Then what would be your answer? Common thinking will say, if this cannot be happen in any way, that means it does not exist. It's just we are wasting our time thinking on, Bandhya Putra. But now it is possible, okay? So Bandhya Putra means the son of a barren lady. It's a very nice word is being used. Or better to use the word, another word called, Shashashrungaha, the horn of a rabbit. Or you can say Aswashrungaha, which is okay. So horn of a horse, that is also allowed, don't worry. So is it like that? some imaginary words you are playing with this Brahman, Atman, Paramatma. What is this after all me? Don't you think that it does not exist? It's not like that. This is what we have to understand, because which cannot be objectifiable. Please understand. Which cannot be objectifiable. That does not mean it exists. That does not mean it does not exist. Because the subject itself cannot be objectifiable. Maybe it is the subject. Can you see this point? So when we say maybe it is the subject, it's not maybe, in reality, it is subject. And that it is subject is the job of Sabda Pramana. So Sabda as a Pramana, Veda as a means of knowledge, the teacher of the words of the teacher becomes means of knowledge, just to communicate, not maybe it is subject. Because maybe it is subject, one can infer, one can use one's own brain. But that it is subject comes through the words. But because it comes through the words of the teacher, the teaching, the Veda, that does not mean that words are going to objectify. Can you see this point? It's a very subtle point to catch. That's why we say Veda, Nirveda. So one is supposed to use the Veda to understand there is no Veda. That's why we are not fanatic of anything, because of all these reasons. So that's why, keeping with this, now let us look at the verse. Nadat bhasayate surya na sasanko na pavakaha. Surya, the sun, na bhasayate, does not illumine. Means that Dhamma, this Brahman, cannot be illumined by the sun. And of course, not Shashanka, maybe sun is hiding in the night. You understand? No, not Shashanka, neither the moon. And not Pavakaha, nor any form of fire. So here, any form of, you can say, light. Like other verses, natatra suryo bhati nachandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti. Even if lightning also being added there. Tara also being added, like, all stars. But here we can say pavaka uses that all sort of fire, illuminary things. So na pavaka, not any sort of, even the fire, any sort of luminary things cannot illumine. And what is that? He says, Tat mama parama dhamma iti. Now the Lord says that it is my supreme abode. Now also we'll be seeing very carefully. Gatva yat, attaining which, na nivartate. So by attaining which, one does not return. There is no return at all. Now, when we look at this, Krishna says mine, that it is my supreme abode. What does it mean? We have to be very careful. Let me clarify this concept so that you have to be very careful. Actually, because of lack of teaching, Bhagavad Gita is highly misunderstood, like Bhagavad Gita as it is, for example. And everybody writes Bhagavad Gita, commentary on Bhagavad Gita. A politician also starts writing Bhagavad Gita in India. In fact, there was one, idiot who destroyed India. He said, whenever I had a problem, I opened the book of Bhagavad Gita. My problem was solved. As though Bhagavad Gita is a book of problem. Okay? Because whenever my electricity goes, the problem related to electricity comes. Whenever a problem to electricity comes, means if electricity goes away in my room, what I do? First, I look at my neighbor. So when I discover also neighbor doesn't have electricity, appa, my problem is solved. You understand? So also now whenever this idiot told very nicely, whenever I have a problem, I open the randomly, open the Bhagavad Gita book, and my problem is solved. There are different types of people have written Bhagavad Gita. You cannot think of why. Don't ask me. But the purpose here is being lost. We have to understand very carefully. When Lord Krishna uses this word aham and mama, very carefully, I'm using this word today because here he uses the word mama, so that's why. I and mine. When he uses these two words, we have to understand contextually. Is it Ekarupa Krishna, Anekarupa Krishna, or Arupa Krishna? Is it clear? We have discussed enough of time we have given on these discussions, okay? Especially on 10th chapter. Please refer. Is it Ekarupa Krishna? So Ekarupa Krishna means Mr. Krishna or Mr. Son of Vasudeva. So that becomes Ekarupa Krishna. So Mama means, if he says it belongs to me, that means Dwaraka. It belongs to Mathura. That means it belongs to what? It is called Ekarupa Krishna. And there are occasions he uses this word with reference to Anekarupa Krishna. That one need to figure it out, that one need to find it out. This is called methodology of teaching. So without methodology of teaching, the people mix it. Anekarupa Krishna becomes Ekarupa, and of course Arupa Krishna becomes Ekarupa Krishna. That's why Bhagavad Gita as it is and many other or different types of description on Bhagavad Gita creates a lot of confusion. Is it clear? So you would need to see very carefully, is it Ekarupa Krishna or Anekarupa Krishna or Arupa Krishna? So here Mama related to Arupa Krishna. Is it clear? If you don't look at that, if you try to look at it is Ekarupa Krishna or Anekarupa Krishna, there is a big confusion. So he says, my supreme abode, Arupa Krishna says, what? It's mine, attaining which one does not return. So there is no point of return at all. So then only you can see very carefully that me achieving something, anything in my day-to-day life, me achieving something is going to go away in time. That's why here he says, by achieving this, it will never go away. It will be always with me. In fact, I don't achieve, I resolve. Can you see this point? It is all about resolving. It is not achieving. It is not holding on to. That's why we say in life, a common person wants to achieve to resolve. Through the achievements, a common person wants to resolve many things in life, many problems in life. Whereas a wise person what does? By resolving, you can resolve everything. Is it clear? By resolving, you can resolve. You don't have to achieve anything to resolve. So that's why here he says that when you start resolving to resolve, then you discover a different thing altogether. Again, also same Ekarupa, Anekarupa, and Arupa Krishna. So, in the same context, also let us look at the next verse. Let us read. Mame banso jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manashashthanindriyani prakrutistani karshati. Now, from this verse onwards, Lord Krishna enters into another topic. So, the topic is Sarvam Brahmamayam Jagat Iti. So, okay, sometimes in Tamil Nadu, people when they do not pronounce the Brahma, sometimes it is heard as Brahma. Okay, so Babra. Okay, I heard Brahmar Panam Brahma Havi. It's not a Bra. Okay, Bra. Okay, you have to be very careful. So, Sarvam Brahmamaya iti. So when Sarvam Brahmamaya iti, that whatever you see is nothing but Brahman. So how is it possible? Same concept. Quickly we look at concept so that next class we can go to the verse. When we look at the waves, all the waves are nothing but water. Different forms of water. Now, same thing also. What you call as Jiva. So what is Jiva? At least this much you now remember, okay? So if I ask you, who are you? So who are you? I don't say that I am so and so, okay? I'm not interested in so and so, okay? Your so and so has come from your parents, okay? I'm not interested. So who are you? It's very simple. So I am in start with Purushaha and Prakriti. The mixture of Purushaha and Prakriti. So if you want to talk little different language based on the 14th chapter, so you can say what? So I am Gunatitaha plus Gunas. So Nirguna Saguna based on 14th chapter language. So that means I am consciousness principle plus material. If you want to talk in a very gross language. Now, if I am that, so what sort of consciousness? Reflected consciousness, not direct. So that's why Jiva is called what? That pratibimba that we have discussed. So reflected consciousness plus reflected medium called body-mind complex is called Jiva. So RC plus RM, you can say, reflected consciousness, reflected medium. OC is different. Original consciousness is entirely different. Now, when we look at this point very carefully, that anything and everything that you see is nothing but what? Reflected consciousness plus reflected medium. Reflecting, not reflected. Reflecting medium. And because of reflected consciousness, now the reflecting medium is sentient. But in reality, reflecting medium is insentient. Don't forget that concept also. Now, if this is the case, that means whatever I see, anything and everything is nothing but Ishwaraha is Brahman. Is it clear? So, with this background, We'll be seeing the next verse tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnasya Purnamidam Vishyate Shanti. Thank you all.